Welcome to my channel. Welcome back to my channel. The channel is Bowling with Domingo. I'm Domingo, and thank you for being here. As I clear my throat. Thank you for hanging out with me. Thank you for being supportive of me in my bowling journey, of each other in our bowling journey. So to recap, I've been doing this probably a little over 2.5 years, maybe closer to 2 3/4 years, and it's amazing how for me, I equate this to when I was learning to play guitar, and I would spend so many hours in my room just playing it, and you reach these plateaus, or these, not plateaus, but these levels of proficiency. And I remember at one point, when you're 13, or when I was 12, 13, 14, playing fast was important to me, and so I would focus on that. And I remember at one point I discovered that I was able to do these things that I couldn't do a few months back, and I was like, wow, this practice is working. And this game is similar to that. However, I will also share with you that this game is also humbling, where I think, my gosh, no matter how much I've practiced that 10-pin, I still have league nights where I miss half of them, and that sometimes is just part of the game. And so it can be discouraging, but I encourage you, and I encourage myself to just hang in there and stay with it. Excuse me. The Rush concert was amazing. I thank you for those who commented and watched my video of me pre-bowling. I don't think I'll be doing that a whole lot, because I try and attend every one of our bowling nights, but sometimes scheduling gets in the way, and that's fortunately some of the leagues here allow you to pre-bowl if you know you're going to be absent on that particular day. I'm back in practice, and I had an amazing game. I had 255, and when I get here, I'll practice at least 6 games, and the first 2 games are just 10 pins. 10 pins, 10 pins, and then I've also been practicing this other line, which is the 1-2 pocket, standing somewhat further left for when I leave a washout. Lately, I've been kind of hooking at a washout, but I think I saw someone on the women's professional bowling YouTube video recently where she left a washout, and instead of hooking at it, she threw a spare ball straight at it. So I'm trying to find that line. But with this, so this was my first real game, and I will share with you that for every from frame 1 through 9, for every frame, I threw a different ball each time. And I stood in the same spot each time, which was 21 looking at 10. And in order, if I can remember, it was Gremlin Tour X, and then it was Jackal Onyx, and I'll talk to you about this in a second. Then it was my Attention Star, and then it was my Storm Phase AI, in that order. And each frame I would just alternate, and I got something going. I think I had a 6-bagger up there, yeah, frames 2 to 8, and part of me is thinking, what the hell's going on here? Standing in the same spot, 21, looking at 10, off balance, drifted too left. But I was able to put something together. Now, it doesn't mean that I'm able to put it together now. It's been about 20 minutes or 15 minutes, but I thought, let's record. This will be fun. But this time I'm only using my Jackal Onyx, and I will tell you, this is the biggest ball, the strongest ball that I own. And I've been experimenting with this one almost ever since I got it. I think box finish is 1,000, and I've experimented with 2,000, 3,000. Today, when I got here, I put 500 on it just to see what it would be like. The strongest ball I own, and let's put an aggressive surface on it. What might that look like? And so, for those of you who are familiar, or maybe not familiar, well, if you're not familiar, surface. There are these sanding pads that you can get. I'll show you mine. Sorry, I'm off camera for a minute. I'm getting my sanding pads. So you can get these on Amazon. True Cut sanding pad, and this one came like with a bunch of them, 500 to 4,000. But you can get these. There's a brand called Abralon, and this is from, I think this is from Creating the Difference, CTD. But if you've got a ball that you just can't get along with, or has never worked for you, before you sell it, or before you give it away, or before you plug it and try a different layout, buy some inexpensive sanding pads and try a different surface on it. Now, admittedly, the more surface you put on something, the more it's going to hook, which means you probably either have to throw faster or stand more left to help accommodate that hook that you're now building into the ball. But I've had a couple of balls that, you know, I thought, well, I never got along with this, or so experiment with it, because the sanding pads are relatively cheap, and you might find that there's something there if you want to experiment with it. Excuse me. Jackal Onyx, strongest ball I own. Standing 21, looking at 10. At the top of my swing, I want to remind myself to get these two, like these punch knuckles, to get these knuckles up in the air. Whether my wrist is bent or it's straight at the top, I just want to remind myself to get these knuckles up in the air. Let's begin. One last look at that 255. Yeah, it might be okay. All right, a little light mixer. I think I could have hit it a little more at the bottom, meaning I could have felt it at the fingertips a little more at the bottom. There is some oil out there, and you know what I'll do? Let's wipe it off. When the lanes get dry and you don't see much flare rings or much oil, I suppose there's not really much use in wiping it, but it's the middle of the afternoon, and I may be the first person to bowl here on lane 34, which explains why there's still some oil there. Standing 21. Looking at 10, let's get the elbow in the air, let's feel it on the bottom. I felt that at the bottom. Oh, too high? Oh, touch high. I feel like I kind of lost my balance too. I didn't feel entirely, not lost, but I didn't feel entirely balanced at the foul line. We got a 4-7. So in previous weeks, I would grab my spare ball, but for leaves that are left of the head pin, I've been hooking at them. Now I'm standing 15 and I'm looking at 8, maybe 10, but I have to remember that this is the hookiest ball that I own, so I'm concerned about it picking up too soon and missing the whole thing, so I need to make sure that I find that balance between hook and speed. There's 8. That should be okay. Good. Good. And again, hooking at your left-hand spares. If you're on a house shot that you're familiar with, go ahead and do it. If you're in a different house, I've said this before, that once a week I meet a friend of mine, lives about an hour away, and we bowl in a different center that I'm not that used to, and I have missed that entire 4-7 leave by the ball hooking too early. But you find what works for you. Standing 20, excuse me. Standing 21, looking at 10. Coughing. That feels okay. Good. I feel like there wasn't a lot of deflection there. I feel like it was going. I want to check my camera and make sure it's still recording, because I've had that problem in recent weeks. Still recording, that's good. Let's continue. And there's still some oil on there, so let's wipe it down. I have a teammate who does not like to wipe their ball down because they want their ball to go long. They want the oil on it. You find what works for you. There's even videos, YouTube videos on bowlers doing the experiment. Let's bowl a whole game wiping it and bowl a whole game not wiping it and see, did it make a difference. You find what works for you. Standing 21, looking at 10. A little inside. Yeah, a little inside. So I was looking at 10, that was more like 11, 12. All right, this 310. For a while, it was one of my favorite things to hook at this. And I know statistically you're supposed to grab your spare ball and shoot straight at that 310. I want to play. I want to hook at it. I'm standing 35. I'm looking roughly 17. So in between third and fourth arrow. Roughly 17, 18. Let's aim for 17. There is 16. Uh-oh. Oh, yeah. Okay. I think if you leave a 310, it's similar to leaving a 3-6-10. And I know that I would typically grab my spare ball and shoot straight at a 3-6-10. So if I leave another 310, I'll grab my spare ball. I'll check my notes because I forgot what the numbers were for 3-6-10. We're back here, standing 21, looking at 10. Push off that back leg, that power step into the slide step. Get the elbow in the air. That's a good push. That's nice, 10. Okay, good ball. Good ball. Again, if I feel like if I hit the pocket and you leave a 10 pin, that's going to happen sometimes. So that's okay. Okay, obviously I'm not shooting 255 this game. But I'm still sharing this game and posting it. Because that's okay. My 10 pin line is to stand 39 and look at 21, 22. Standing 39. Looking at 21, 22. There's 21, 22. That should be okay. Good. Let's continue. Stand at 21. Looking at 10. I'm going to be aware of my balance at the foul line, and when this ball hits the pocket, I'm going to be aware of what it does as it goes through the pins. That's good, 10. What does it do? Oh, a little high. Little high. Didn't deflect, but it kind of continued left. I missed a little in. Keep in mind also that if you have a ball, excuse me, that's got this much surface on it, it will definitely leave its mark and affect the oil. Move some oil around or take the oil off. Standing 21, looking at 10. That feels good. A little high. Again, a little high. 4 pin. For this 4 pin, standing 15, looking at 8, 7. Here we go. Looking at 7. There's 7. Good. You know what I'm going to say. Let's continue. Standing 21, looking at 10, I'm back. Kind of dropped it a little bit. Wait, fall on the, what is that, the 7 and the 5? Or the 4 and the 5? Stand at 21, looking at 10, get the elbow in the air. Push off that back leg on the 4th step. Clear your throat. Elbow in the air. That's almost a similar shot to what happened last time. This time the 5 fell and then the 7 fell. So, excuse me, a lot of light mixers. I need more water. I don't know what's going on with my... It's like I have a smoker's cough. I don't smoke, by the way. Standing 21. Looking at 10. Nice elbow in the air. That was like 9. Get out of there, 7-pin. I'm tempted to move 1 right, 20. But part of me wants to stand at the same spot the whole the whole game. Let's move 1 right. Still looking at 10. 1 right, still looking at 10. Knowing that if I get too close to the friction with this ball, it'll pick up and it could cross over. But let's try and be accurate and be mindful of my speed as well. That I need speed when I'm playing closer to the friction. Standing 20, looking at 10. That's good 10. Oh, stone 8. That was a good ball. 206. This is the point of the video where I say that I tell my wife if I get 200, I'm happy. Which means I'm happy. I'm moving 3 right. So that was 20. I'm standing 17 for this 8-pin. I do want it to hook a little bit. I'm looking at 7 at the arrows. Standing 17, looking at 7 at the arrows. That's 7. Good. Nice. Oh, that's it. Okay. I thought I had 1 more ball left. Okay. 207. It's bowling with Domingo. I'm going to try experimenting with a few more different balls here. Yeah, Jackal at 500. I encourage you to play and experiment and try different things. That's what this game is. It's about kind of finding where you're comfortable. A couple of things I wanted to... I know I mentioned this person before, but there's a woman at League and she's a right-hander and she ends on her right leg. So she goes 4 steps. 1, 2, 3. She bowls this way and then she slides into... Let's see if I can't even do that. But let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then she slides this way. And, you know, on paper it's wrong, but she has, it works. She has it down so well, and she's her average is higher than mine. So I'll just put it that way. So whatever it is, whatever system or whatever technique you've got going, you can do it well enough to the point where you become proficient at it, and then it feels second nature. It feels comfortable. And so I've said this in recent videos. I encourage you to play, to try different things. This game should be fun. Okay, I'm Domingo. It's Bowling with Domingo, and thank you for hanging with me.